Hello, my name is DES Hatsumine. I am an artist who's doing like digital art here, character design, manga, and normally anime art illustration, and also animation and a bit of 3D modeling. And I want to explain you the basics today, how to create MMVs, like, one moment, like those from 𝕊𝕚𝕒𝕚, stuff like Gradency does, and how my stuff do. This is gonna be like a one-shot video, so yeah, don't be confused if there's like no editing in it, because it's gonna be a huge video and really I don't have the time for it to edit it in the end. But I gotta put some timestamps, I think they're called, into the video description, so you could always skip to the part you're interested in. And yeah, long story short told, I gonna explain you now the basics of MMV creation. And this video will be not about layering the art. This is gonna be a completely separated video because it's a really huge topic you could talk about, and I don't want to make a 2-hour video, so yeah. And I wanted to tell shortly, I also work for Grad since a couple of years, especially layering wise, but in the past few projects I was also a collaboration partner in his Genshin Impact video, and I animated few of the characters, as an example Median Ride in the Arc Knights video, and also created this 3D background there. And I also animated a character in his future MMV, which you're gonna see soon, hopefully. And did also the 3D background for it. So I have some experience, and I also work with a content creator who's doing it since years, and it's like his main content. So yeah, let's start it. Some smaller Q&A which I have here. What counts as MMV? I'm always a pretty huge discussion with Grant what the MMV actually means. So I just gotta tell mine and his opinion what the name means. It's like manga motion video / manga music video. It's mainly an music video, which is like edited with anime characters / manga characters. And the main focus is like on the animation and the character itself. And yeah, let's move on. But I need to tell you, sometimes it's like a really small gap between MAD and MMV, especially if you do the manga stuff and you want to do a bit of story-based stuff, because manga music videos are most likely not story-based, but could be story-based. But yeah, always a smaller gap if you do the manga stuff there. What can I animate? Everything which is manga related is allowed, so boys, girls, and also, yeah, I put it in there, guys, I put it in there. I'm not into it, but I just put it in there because I also saw somebody who did like furry MMVs, and I need to tell you, it also counts as MMV content. Yes. Characters can be out of an anime, out of a manga, out of a visual novel, or your own OC. In the end of the day, it must be in an anime style. Yeah. And the third thing, how can I edit the MMV? Like I mean like the editing wise. The most popular ones, are like Graded C and Hilzu, and also like Panzu Shot, which have like this repetitive style. And that's one of the things which MMV has, something repetitive. But there's also every time, like, you could develop your own style. You don't need to be focused on what other people are doing. Me, as an example, I always try to not have that much loop only in the refrain. Yeah, I gotta try to have more diversity, and sometimes it depends what I do, what the topic about is. But sometimes I also try to put some in-game stuff in there, especially like in my Genshin MMV. I was like putting some sequences out of the game into it to have like some fan service, like to show the people, yeah, I play the game, I know some stuff here, take it. Here are some animations about your favorite character or ults, whatever. So you could do it like the others, but you could also try to find your own stuff. There's no specific rule for it, but there's often loops in there, I only can tell. And a thing which I didn't note it down, but I realized it later after I was writing the thingy here, is MMV creation profitable? Few years, like, it depends, maybe also where you're living, in which country. For Grad, it's not possible, as an example, to be an independent individual. He is working, besides of YouTube, full-time, because he's not getting enough money out of this MMV stuff to live by his own, because it's like, you will know, so like, oh, okay, he's earning a lot of money, but then you need to pay taxes, and there are some stuff you need to do extra as an individual person, and you have like basically 50% of the money, and yeah, that's not enough to live, and you will not get paid that much as an MMV creator from YouTube, because first thing, the music is not your own, so you're not a music creator, and you're, how should I say it, like, most likely, if you don't hit the 8 or over 10 minute market, the 8 or 10 minute mark, yeah, you will not get that much money out of it if you compare it to some story-based animators which are explaining some stuff out of their day. Definitely not. So it's not really profitable. But if you maybe live in a third world country, it's not an insult or so, but if you will live there and you can live basically from few hundred, like $200, $300 per month, and live like a king, that's gonna be probably profitable. But if you live in a normal country where you like pay a lot of stuff, it's not profitable. It's more a patient project where you can earn a bit of money with it, but not that much. It's more for the artistic pleasure. Yeah. Let's go to the programs. What kind of programs can you use to do MMVs? I use for upscaling Waifu2x Snowshell. It's a free program which is able to upscale pictures, because if you want to zoom into pictures, you can't just keep it like that, because most of the pictures of the artist are maybe like, let's say a good pixel amount, like 3 or 4K pixels big. But sometimes it's like not enough, because you want to zoom in, and so you need more pixels. So Grad and I most likely use Waifu to upscale them 2 or 3 times. For the layering, there's a lot of options, even free options, which you could use. Like we have GIMP, which is a free program. Also Krita is a free program, an art program. Most likely you just need a program which you could layer with. So you have like your single layers to move your body, hair, parts, whatever. CSP, Clip Studio Paint, which I use mainly because I'm an artist and it's much cheaper and a nice program in my opinion. It's a subscription or a one-time payment. Really nice to use. Also has like 3D models included. Really nice one. Photoshop, which is a subscription. Use it whatever you want to, guys, but I'm not a supporter of Adobe. Okay, I use After Effects, but it's a different topic because there's not really a different option. But if you use something different, guys. Adobe, nah. Foo. Ibis Paint Mobile. Like for I have like also like 2 mobile options if you don't have a PC, but it's gonna be complicated with the animation ones. But yeah. Ibis Paint is also free. If you you could pay for it, but if you use the ad version, you could use it for free. And Procreate, also for mobile, as a one-time payment. I think it was like 20 euros or 10 euros, something like around about this. For animation, I have like 3 recommendations. This is Adobe After Effects, which is a subscription. Live2D, which has like different kinds of subscriptions, like I think monthly, yearly, and every 3 years. I usually use Live2D for my animations and use it since nearly 3 years. Haha, I need to pay soon my new subscription. Woohoo! Love this program. Never really disappointed me. I can also show you soon some of the animations I do right now. Wait, I'm just gonna do it. Is it a fly or a bee? Leave me alone. I'm working right. Here for my next MMV, which you're gonna see soon. Stuff which I do with Live2D. Really nice program. Back here. And Spine2D, which is also a great program for animation. But I didn't understand and I didn't understood if it's like one-time payment or subscription. I only saw the prices and I was a bit confused. But if you're interested, you could buy it. Not like I gave you 3 options. But I didn't found a really good free rigging animation program. I'm sorry. Maybe you know one, but these are the 3 ones which are pretty common for animation and are also nice to use. And in my opinion, Live2D is it is some money, but it's not that expensive if you compare it to other subscription services. And they always update their stuff and upgrading the program. So yeah. For video editing, there are also like a lot of different ones, and 3 PC ones are like After Effects, which you probably know, or like Premiere. Sony Vegas, which is like a subscription or a one-time payment. I think there was like 2 different options. And DaVinci Resolve, which is a one-time payment. And if you want to use like a phone one, which I can't recommend to you because it could be like really annoying to edit a multiple-minute video on your phone. I did this with my first MMV, would not recommend this. But as an example, CapCut and InShot are mobile programs which you could use for video editing on mobile. And this is not a need, but it's a nice to have if you want to have like 3D environment, like Hilzu or me, You could use Blender, which is free, pretty super nice program. One of the, in my opinion, one of the most powerful free programs which are existing. And Maya, which is, I think, a subscription and not cheap, by the way. But if you have it, you could use it. But if you don't have it, use Blender. Super nice option. Super good option. I love it. I work with it since years. Nice one. These were the programs which you could use or need to use. You need one for editing, you need one for animation, and you need at least one for layering. And if you want to, upscaling would be a good option, and 3D is like voluntarily. And now, this is just a recommendation for you as a beginner. You don't need to listen to this, but this is now an artist recommendation which you could use for MMVs. Because they have like an interesting art style or a really huge art archive, because they have like drawn a lot of different characters. You could also use other artists because we have like thousands great artists in this world which you could use. Yeah. This is that are those. It's internal, Frank, Scotty, Hood, and Gabriel. And I'm gonna explain you now why they're so good and what are the pro and cons. Let's start with Frank, with my favorite one of those. I love him. Kiss, chef kiss. Good artist. Frank is a pretty popular artist on Twitter. He is uploading from headshot to full body illustrations, most likely anime girls, but sometimes pretty less sometimes boys. I just remember he drew like Asuna from Blue Archive in May version. Oh, super sweet. He has a really cool art style. I love it, and a lot of different people love it also. Nice expressions. They are like really dynamic. The lighting is also on point and has a lot of details like patterns, and so the colors, perfection. What is a bit negative, like it's not more negative for the beginner ones or overall for layering most likely, it's like the overlapping, because they are sometimes so dynamic, or yeah, it's stuff can overlap, and it could be like really annoying for especially for a beginner or overall, to find out, okay, how to layer this right now or how to animate this right now that doesn't look like shit. And the shading maybe could be really annoying for beginners if you want to layer the artwork and you don't know how to color it properly. Oh, that reminds me to the question. Oh god, I forgot about it. Small thing which I need to add. Good that I have timestamps. Do you need to be an artist to create an MMV? It's a bit a difficult question because it always depends. If you have some artistic skills, you definitely would have much less issues with layering. But it's not necessary to be an artist in drawing to layer, but it's really helpful, and you can use more artworks, because if you want to animate a character, you need to draw everything which is outside. As an example, let's take the small kitsune girl. You need to draw the left hand as an example, and for me as an artist it would be easy to do. And you can't just copy paste the right hand to the left hand, because you obviously see that's like a different angle. This is an example which I could say, okay, easy to go. I can draw it. That's it. And Yeah, but overall for layering, you don't need to be a genius artist. But, you know, yeah, it could be better. It would be better. It's nice to have. It makes your life easier, but it's not necessary. As an example, Grad is not an artist. He can't draw. And he does also his stuff. But we don't talk about it in detail if he has some issues and looking with a side eye on me and getting big eyes and asking me, "Oh, could you do it for me? Could you do it for me?" Yeah, but let's move on. Beginner difficulty is like 7 out of 10. 10 means like really hard. 1 means like really easy for beginners, and I would give it a 7. But yeah, he has a lot of nice stuff on his Twitter and on this Pixiv. This dude has also a lot of stuff on Pixiv which he is not uploading on Twitter. Next one would be Scotty. Scotty, also a pretty popular artist on Twitter, does a lot of headshots and full body. Has an interesting art style, pretty unique art style also. He has also like often a pretty nice base expression. Often also like dynamic, especially from the perspective. Good and simple shading. So even for a beginner artist, nice to understand. I would think so because it's like not that complicated, I guess. Has a lot of detail. He has a lot of fan art, and you can buy his PSDs for a few euros on Fanbox, which I did. The negatives are that sometimes he has also like overlapping because like it's like pretty messy. As an example here with a lot of hair, could be really annoying. And I need to say, Scotty, I don't know why he's doing that, but I bought his PSD files. His pictures are so fucking small. Like they are like not even 2K big sometimes, and I don't get why he's downscaling his pictures so low. It's so annoying. It's also like a stuff which confuses me, and it's like yeah, not nice. Even my upscaling program has some issues to upscale his pictures because it's getting blurry, and that's not nice because it's losing the main art style, and it's gonna be also annoying to layer. But anyway, beginner difficulty would be like 5 out of 10. Let's talk about Gabriel. Gabriel has headshot and full body art, has also like an interesting art style, at least in my opinion. Has a nice base expression, also has like nice perspectives. She had this one Saber artwork, I forgot her name, but I think it was a Saber version. Good simple shading and a lot of detail. But he has sadly like a small collection of artworks, most likely some Fate Grand Order content, and I think it was Sword Art Online content, which he has on his Twitter. Difficulty also like 5 out of 10. Next one would be Eternity. You probably know him already from Grad and my MMVs because he has like I think he's also like one of Grad's favorites about MMV artworks. With maybe obvious reasons. Like he has like a lot of full body art. He has an really interesting art style. The base expression fits also pretty well. It has also like nice positions, a good shading style, a lot of detail, and a huge collection, especially about Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. I think he also started to draw some Blue Archive content. And I think he also started to draw Vuva content, but I'm not sure right now. But I thought he drew something a few weeks ago. Yeah. The only maybe negative thing I would say is our RPG lines, and that he has also sometimes overlapping stuff, but there are too many positive stuff about his art, so I tend to forget the overlapping then. Beginner difficulty, I guess it is a 7 out of 10, but it's still really nice stuff which the artist has in his archive. Last one would be Hood. Hood has also like a lot of headshot and full body art. Oh my god, it cut away. Has also like a cool art style in my opinion. Has a nice base expression, nice perspective, good shading also, huge art collection, and you could also buy I think for 5 or 10 euros his BSD files. Like, and I don't mean like from the last months. I think it was like from the last few years. Which you could buy for a few euros, which is really, really, really nice. Like for a few euros, getting a whole PSD file, like it's saving you a lot of time because you could just close the layers with a background, and then you have like a completely separated PNG, which is cool. Saves me a lot of time to cut out the background and have the clean outlines. So really nice. What are the negatives? Sometimes it has like less detail. What do you mean with less detail? He often does draw patterns on the fabric of the cloth, and yeah, that's the only downside. But I think it's kind of like okay if you have the main focus on the expression. I think it should be fine, and style is still nice. And he's a sweetheart. He also liked my animation and said like, yeah, and he's also streaming on Twitch. Pretty nice guy. Sweet. And this, I would say the beginning difficulty would be like 4 out of 10, especially if you could buy the PSD file, so you have no worries about background separation because you save your time with it. And yeah, these were some artist recommendations which I had. Next one is, how do I find out what is a good artwork? In the end of the day, everybody has their subjective opinion what good art is. But I'm trying to explain what I'm looking for. If I look for art and what's not that nice and what's okay and what is great. And here are some important words you need to know. Oh god, wait. Yeah. What is good art? And by the way, I don't want to flame any artist here, which I have as an example. They are just subjectives, which I gotta use to explain. Dynamic can be important. Values of the colors, even if you gonna do grad style with just a few colors and black white stuff, values gonna be even more important because you don't want to have a pitch black character or so, or a completely white one. An interesting art style or an appealing art style, not AI. To this topic I gonna go later because I want to explain myself. Proportions and lighting. Okay, lighting has something to do with values, but yeah. And here I have some pictures, and I pause the video now for a few seconds and guess which pictures could be usable for an MMV and which not. Pause now. If you pause now, I'm gonna explain you now. Boom! Why is that? No worries, DES Hatsumine is gonna explain to you. So first one. Why is that not good for MMV? First thing, it's way too sketchy. Nothing against sketchy art styles. I also used some sketchy art styles before, but the difference is, it's really messy. I couldn't tell what is cloth and what is hair, and the values are not fitting also in this area because they are like pretty similar. And the position is a bit straight. I could animate it as an example, like I showed you before, the Cinder artwork. Straight artworks where you're like standing straight and sitting outwards are really newbie unfriendly. I can animate them because I got some tricks to do how to make it dynamic, but for you as a beginner, I would not recommend for searching for sitting or straight standing characters. This shading is a bit too simple in my opinion, and the art style is not appealing because it's just a bit too messy. Why is the next one? It's dynamic. You could especially see it's a spine. It's dynamic pose. I think it's also a cool perspective, especially if you do like an edgy MMV, like butt out, cute expression, the booba squish and so. The picture has a lot of black, but everything is clear, so the values are fitting also. You could tell, even if everything is like black hair, black coat, black dress, skirt, black pantsuit, black this and that, you still can see what is, which is great. And the art style is, in my opinion, at least appealing. What is wrong with this picture? I guess like it's really straight. It has clean outlines, but something is kind of like missing in my opinion. The anatomy is not really well. The hands are really sticky and straight. It's overall pretty like a stick. The lighting spots are also weird. It looks like that the light is coming from up there, but also like coming out from here to glowing up the booba, but there's like also like light here, which is confusing. And the face doesn't fit really to the original character. What do I mean with that? It is anime, but characters still have face proportions. Simplified ones, but they have ones. And in this picture, it's not existing, the face proportion of this character. And the face is a bit really long, I would say. So, yeah. Okay, I said a few minutes ago, not sitting characters, but why did I took also this picture? Because it's a dynamic sitting pose. Her spine is like a curve, so if you want to, even as a beginner, you could move the character from the left to the right side. She is sitting, okay, I explained it, and she has a cute art style, and you still could animate a lot. If you want to, you could cheat a bit and not do like this peace symbol. You could put the fingers a bit into the back of the glasses, and you could animate it like that way that she's like putting the glasses off, like the glasses were maybe here, and you could, she's like putting this position. So you could actually do a lot even she's sitting there. But how is it if you want to use manga stuff? At least you don't need to focus on the colors, but you should find a character which is appealing. And dynamic poses can help you a lot, or interesting poses. Like here's a cheerleader one of Jahi-sama, or this running position, which is also like pretty dynamic or interesting. Expressions. Yeah. And an interesting manga style could be also like really helpful for your animation stuff. So why no AI? Before any discussion is starting, I don't want in the comments any stuff about pro or anti-AI. This video should be just explain how to do MMVs, what you should do and what you don't do, or what you can do. Yes, and in my opinion, first thing, AI overall is shit because it's stealing content. But that's not the point here. Why not using it anyway, even about if you look away from the ethic stuff? First thing, I would not know how to layer even specific things. Look at this. Like, do you get what are those parts? It would be like a horror to layer those pictures because I would not understand how to do that. Like, what is this? Is it a pumpkin? Is it something to drink? Details which are original on the character are not correctly drawn. Character look completely different. Here's an example. Here's Kafka, but yeah. 𝕊𝕚𝕒𝕚 and 𝕊𝕚𝕒 look a lot younger and also like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers. Is she eating fries? Yeah. And to be honest, you're an animator, guys. If you're an animator, then collaborate with artists. And by the way, always at least try to ask the artist for permission, because some of them could be like commissions, and commissions are often not for other use, especially. So yeah, just small thingy which I wanted to tell. But overall, I was talking a lot of artists because of I want to use their stuff, and most of the artists gonna be happy about the stuff you're doing. And as an example, Dishwasher liked one of my animations as I used its artwork. Mino was retweeting an animation which I did. Hood was looking about over my animation and gave me compliments. What's the biggest thing? Bro, you're an animator and an artist which you animate the content, and they are like professional, and so giving you compliments, like that's a really nice feeling, man. And an AI dude can't do that because he is far away of being professional, and it's not even his content, and he would probably give a shit because he doesn't understand how much time you spend on it. So yeah, that are the reasons why not use AI, or some of the reasons. Do I have some more stuff to tell? Like, maybe where you can find artworks. Me as an example, I'm really active on Twitter, and I follow a lot of stuff and always save good artworks. If I see a good artwork, I have a really huge folder on my PC with thousands of artworks. If I mean thousands, thousands of artworks, and I think nowadays like even hundreds of artists. I filter it with the artists, and I'm gonna put the artwork in there, and that's how I save some good art and save myself also a lot of time to search for it. But also you could look at Danburu or Pixiv. Pixiv is nowadays not that nice anymore because there's like a lot of bunch of AI content which is even not tagged anymore, which is even more ridiculous how that's even allowed on Pixiv. But anyway, yeah, that's how I look for it. And don't be confused. If you really want to look for good art, it takes hours till days. Depends where you're looking for. Because Grad and I think we actually spent a week for looking 𝕊𝕚𝕒𝕚 fan arts. And not just like few hours per day. I think we spent like over 6 hours per day to look for stuff because we wanted to have the highest quality. So yeah. But this was the basic tutorial about how to create MMVs. About layering and so, I'm gonna do a separate video after I came back from my vacation with Grad. And if you have different questions, You could always ask in the comments. I will try to respond to everybody. And I hope this video was I hope this video was helpful. And we're gonna see us soon in few. I hope in a few weeks with my next MMV. And if you have also some questions, you could also ask me on stream. I'm sometimes on Twitch, on Greg's channel or on my channel. They're in the description. And yeah, hopefully this messy video helped you. See you next time, guys. And I hope you're gonna start to create some spicy shit in the future. See ya! Yeah!